Can we all just say a little prayer for the camera that it's going to stay where it's meant to be and you're not going to eat it? I'm just walking down to the field to have my first session with puzzle, so thought I'd bring you along with me. Oh, she's really sweet. That was such a nice little first session. We just did 20 minutes. I'm going to talk you through what I did with her and what my thoughts are in a little while. I'm just going to have a play with Ginger. Hi Ginger, how are you today? Hi Apollo. You can't do anything with one of these and not the other, so this could be really quite interesting, couldn't it? Is he going to copy everything we do? Apollo wants to play, don't you? I really want to start playing with him, but he's going to be in my online course and I need him to have not done anything, like not done any natural horsemanship, ready for it, so that it's a really true sort of representation of a horse that's not done it before. But we're waiting for the school for that, and that's kind of been put back a little bit now, so I don't know, we might have to use a field just so that I can play with him because he's so desperate to play, aren't you? Can we all just say a little prayer for the camera that it's going to stay where it's meant to be and you're not going to eat it? A little bit worried. Come on, out the way. I just know as soon as I turn my back he's just going to go for that camera. Come on. Sweetest boys in the entire world. I reckon we could do like pairs stuff with these two. If we get Apollo going as well, get you back to where you should be. How awesome would that be? Mwah, mwah. I love you two so very much. I do. I love you so much. Good boys. So Ginger's just having his dinner now. And Apollo's waiting for him to go back in to play. I didn't do a lot with him because, well, as you could see, it wasn't really the easiest of situations, was it? I'm not complaining though, I'm just so pleased that he's got a buddy and they're both so happy together. It's really lovely. To be honest, I didn't really plan to do a lot with Ginger today anyway. I've not played with him in a few days, actually probably nearer a week actually now. I've had a few days off, which has been nice. I've still been coming down looking after him, but I haven't sort of played with the horse since Sunday? Yeah, since Sunday, which has been quite nice. Like, don't get me wrong, I love playing with the horses, I love riding, I love being around them, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to talk to you about this in my horsemanship highlights at the end of the vlog, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, but it's been quite nice just to have a little bit of chill time, catch up with friends and family, all that kind of thing. So Ginger's been staying out. He did come in last night because it was quite wet, but otherwise he's been just staying out and just chilling and just being a horse, which has been lovely. So I just wanted to do something just little with him today, just to kind of touch base with him, catch up with him a little bit. I only brought my short rope down, so I didn't do a lot because I knew I was going to be playing in the field. I knew I was, you know, I didn't sort of make a big plan, so I thought I'd just do the things that I did with Puzzle I would do with Ginger, because obviously Ginger's a lot more advanced in his groundwork, but it is really important to go back to doing the basics sometimes and making sure it's all in there. So I thought it would be useful for two different reasons. One, because it would give me a chance to make sure it's all still going well, our foundation's still good, all the little things are still working, which they were, so that's really good. But two, it would kind of give me like the two ends of the spectrum: a horse that's just starting, who's never learnt any of this before, never done any of this before, and then a horse who's done it, you know, for now most of his life, really. Yeah, most of his life. So yeah, and I thought then it's just a good way to kind of feel with Ginger. That's what I'm aiming for with Puzzle. Puzzle was really good. I was actually really pleased with her for her first session. I thought she did so well. I only kind of, when I start sort of working with a new horse, the first session that I have is more of like an observation session. I don't really teach the horse anything unless I have to, like unless it's a safety thing. So yeah, just kind of throw a few things at the horse. That sounds terrible. Not in a horrible way at all. Give them a few questions and see how they answer them. That's a nicer way of saying it. Yeah, just kind of put a bit of pressure on here and there, see how she responds to it. Give her a few different situations to deal with and see what happens. But she responded really well. The only thing she struggled with really was touching around her mouth. So the first thing I like to do is make sure I can touch the horse all over and they're confident, and you know, with my tools and with my hands. And she was fine everywhere. Yeah, the only place she was a little bit funny was around her mouth, but I don't think it's actually her mouth that's the problem. So she has a very pink nose, bless her, so she's having to have sun cream on every day, and she doesn't like it because it got a bit sore at one point, and now she's kind of expecting it to be a bit sore. So yeah, I think that's where that problem's coming from, because that was kind of, she was just trying to get her nose away from me, so I think it's just that she thought I was putting sun cream on. Or trying to. So we'll let her off of that one. I didn't push that one too far today. And the other thing she does is she uses her weight against you, but not in not even really in a dominant way. It's more of a, if she doesn't understand something, she just kind of pushes you out the way, like to save herself. And if she gets confused, I think she has the tendency to do that, to kind of just go, oh, I don't know, so I'm just going to shut my eyes and walk. And if you're in the way, sorry if I squashed you. I don't think it is like really dominance as such. I think she's quite a confident horse, but maybe a little bit unconfident in her learning. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes as we go along. But we made some good steps today because, as I say, I wasn't really bothered about teaching her, but actually after doing something twice, she was like, yeah, I've got it, and ready to move on. So that's a really, really good sign. Do you really want to go in the field? Oh my goodness. He says my mum is just talking to this camera and not me, and it's not there. Is it? I'm going to sort him out and then I'll talk you through Ginger. Oh no, actually I don't even need to, do I? Because we didn't really do much. And I told you what I was doing with him. So I don't even need to talk you through you, do we? He says, just let me out, mum. Just let me go. Bye. This week I'm going to be talking to you about life balance and how to have a balance in your life when you have horses. And this is something that is quite important to me. Certainly now that I do horses as a job as well as my hobby, that was something that I knew I needed to keep an eye on when I made it my career, so that I didn't get to where, you know, I didn't want to do them as a hobby anymore because it's my work. So it's really important to have downtime, to have time away from horses. And I know that's not the easiest thing because horses need looking after every day. But I do think it's important if you can just get somebody to help you out. If you're on a livery yard, if you can get someone to, you know, sort of do a day for you and then you do a day for them in return or something like that. And actually for me, it's not really so much about looking after the horse. It's more like the working with horses. Because of what I do, it's very progressive. It's always working on moving forwards. Sometimes you just need to kind of stop and reset. I definitely find that. So yeah, it's not just about looking after the horse to me, it's more about actually working with the horses. So sometimes I do just have like 2 or 3 days off in a row of just kind of not working with a horse. It's not like I don't love doing it, because I do absolutely love it. I just feel like it's really important sometimes to just kind of take a step back, refresh yourself. I normally come back then with a different view, with a different kind of plan, with a new energy to go out and do better. So it's definitely worth doing. Someone said to me the other day, do I ever have days where I just don't want to do horses, where I don't want to ride, where I don't want to train, I don't want to teach, I don't want to even see a horse or touch a horse? And the answer is yes, I do have days like that. They're pretty rare. They are pretty rare. Normally they're days when it's hammering it down with rain and it's freezing cold. It's also for my body rather than just my mind. I get tired. I had, a little while ago, I had a couple of weeks where all I seemed to have was horses that pulled back when they were tied up or when they were loading or being led or whatever. And my arms and my back were like horrendous for a good couple of weeks after that, because it had just been like non-stop consistently being pulled around by horses. And that, you know, that was a rare thing, but I had to have a couple of days off then because it was just like painful. I couldn't, you know, my body needed to recover from that. So yeah, sometimes I do want to have days off. Sometimes I do want to just be away from horses for a little while. But it normally comes back to me after a day. I just need a day to sort of reset and think about things, and then I'm ready to get back out there and play with the horse again. I hope you've enjoyed this week's vlog. If you're watching on YouTube, please do give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell for notifications. If you're watching on Facebook, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And I will see you next week.